Hi, this is Wayne Brown from the Better Dating Academy, moving people from dating disaster to relationship master. Well, this is our top 10 series where we look at a little step in the journey from dating disaster to relationship master, so all of the way through. So each of these top 10 tips looks at a different aspect along that journey. And today's journey, we're looking at body language. For a lot of people, they don't understand body language, and even more so, not only do they not understand it, they don't know how to make it work for them. Now, body language is very important when you're approaching people, when you're interacting with people, especially in the initial stages where you want to make your best impressions. So today we're looking at tips so that when you approach people, you can minimize your rejection rate. You can improve your interaction levels. You can build your social confidence and confidence in general. And that's what we're looking at today. So the first tip for improving your body language is have an open chest and arms. That means when you walk up to someone, you have to have your chest exposed and you have to have your arms open, preferably with your palms forward. Now, this is actually something that relates to our primitive brain, something that we have had for a number of millennia, where the first thing we unconsciously look for when we look at people is A, are they going to hurt me? In other words, do they have anything in their hands? So walking in with exposed palms shows that you're safe, that you're not threatening them, that you're approaching them with good intentions. And if you have an open chest and neck, that actually also shows that you're confident. So walking in with your head up just a little bit and your shoulders back just a little bit so that you have an open chest makes a massive difference in their opinion, their perception that you're a confident person. So another really simple, easy tip. That's what all this is about, just simple, easy tips. So the next one is smile. Really smile, like properly smile. They found that they did a study where they gave people a pile of photos of people smiling, and they found that the people who really smiled, that means not just their mouth was smiling, but their eyes were smiling, were perceived as friendlier, nicer, and more approachable, or that people would be willing have approached them. So when you smile, actually smile like you mean it. Make sure that they perceive you as friendly. It's a real genuine, sincere smile because you are a friendly person. You are a nice person. You are a safe person. And you approaching them is not going to be anything to be concerned about. So, yeah, smile, really smile. So your corner of your eyes crinkle up a little bit. Okay, next one. Gesture with your arms and hands. When you are talking to them, make sure that your arms and your hands are moving. Don't just stand there like a dummy. The more, and you don't have to have massive gestures, have the gestures match your personality. If you're someone who's a little quieter, a little more softly spoken, use smaller gestures. If you're someone that's more outrageous, more outgoing, more extroverted, make your gestures bigger, but make sure you're moving your arms and your hands, and even move your body backwards and forwards a little bit and sideways. Really start to engage your body in your conversations. Therefore, you'll have a better interaction with them because you're appealing to more of their senses. They can see you moving as well as hearing you. So make sure you gesture with your arms and your hands. Okay, next one, keep eye contact. Again, they've done numerous studies on this, and people that maintain eye contact are perceived as friendlier, more trustworthy. So keeping eye contact with them is important. There's lots of little games you can play where you can increase attraction levels with where you look. But a really good one to start with is look at their eyes for 10 seconds, look away for a second. Look at their eyes for 10 seconds, look away for a second. So just a quick glance, because if you keep eye contact for too long, that can be perceived as a little bit creepy. So it's not a fine line, but there is a balance between the two. So maintaining enough that they feel like you're interested in them, that you're talking to them, that you're engaging with them to the point where you've got too much and you're just weirding them out. So make sure you maintain eye contact. Keep friendly eye contact. Very, very important. Next one is portray calm and confidence. People that are calm and confident are nicer to be around. They're more pleasant to be around, more enjoyable to engage with. So you don't have to be extroverted to be calm and confident. Introverts can be calm and confident. They can have that real down to earth, that real stabilizing feel about them, that real nice energy. Have you ever met them? Someone they don't really say a lot, but there's just something about them you go, I like being around them. They just feel good to be around. So they're the people that are calm, they're confident. So this is something that just about anyone can master, anyone can get the hang of. So look at portraying that calm and confidence, and it's something you build up to. You can't just instantly be it. A lot of people build it up over a period of time, and that's what all of these tips are looking at, is ways to have you build your confidence in nice, simple, easy ways. So before you know it, you're calm, you're confident, you're socially engaging, you're comfortable approaching people. So it's all working towards that. Little changes in your body language, little changes in your listening skills. It's amazing how simple it can be once you know how. So make sure you portray calm and confidence. And some of these tips will obviously help you do that. Next one, vary your gestures and hand movements. So we all have signature moves. We all have signature phrasing. So not just our words. We all have words that we personally like the sound of. We use them a lot. We also have our gestures that we use a lot. So some people might often do lots of circles with their hands, or move them side to side, or up and down, or wave them around a lot. So we do have our signature gestures and hand movements, but make sure you vary them. Make sure they match what your story is. So if you're talking about something that's really emotional, really involved, make sure you're using gestures that reflect that. So make sure you vary them. Keeps it interesting as well for you and them. Okay, next one. Makes a big difference. Breathe deeply. It's been shown that people who take deep breaths are calmer. And if you're calmer, you can be more confident. So before you approach someone, if you're feeling nervous, a couple of deep breaths. Obviously, don't make it too obvious that that's what you're doing, because you're going to look a little bit odd. But make sure you just take deep, slow breaths. And while you're talking to them, make sure you're breathing deeply. It'll keep you calm. It'll keep you centered. And that helps you build your confidence a lot easier. Okay, so breathe deeply. Shallow, quick breaths, just going to increase your energy, make you nervous, and then it's all just going to go pear-shaped. So breathe deeply. Take deep breaths. All right, next one. Pause for emphasis. When we're nervous, we tend to talk really fast. We don't tend to stop at the end of sentences. There's no punctuation. There's nothing to stop. So people that talk like that tend to be perceived as nervous. So if you want to appear confident, pause occasionally. And especially if you make a big point, if you make some big life-changing statement to them, something that is really important to you, that you really want them to get, pause. Because then that gives them a chance to think about what you've just said. Pausing is really important. And it also shows that you're confident. If you're confident enough to pause and let them sit in the silence, and you're okay with the silence as well, makes a huge difference. So don't be scared to pause. It'll take some practice, and for a while you'll feel you need to say something in the gap, and that's okay. The best relationships are the ones where you can pause for considerable time and no one's feeling awkward. So pausing for emphasis, very, very important. And it doesn't take a lot of effort either. That's the best thing. Okay, next one. Stand distance appropriate. We all have our own personal zones, physical zones that we have various people stand at. So the interesting thing is if you watch someone who's raised in the country talking to someone who's raised in the city, they both have different zones. So the city person will want to stand closer, country person will want to stand further apart. So if you watch them over a period of time, like you had a time-lapse photography, you'd find the country person would move away, then the city person would go, why were they standing so far apart? So they'll move a little bit closer. Then the country person will move away a little bit further to maintain their comfortable distance. And so you've got this constant little chase that happens. Funny to watch. But make sure you don't stand too close. Or if you are going to, make sure you understand the dynamics of how to be able to stand close to people without them wigging out and freaking out. Next one, stand on an angle. So this builds on the one I was just saying about the distance appropriate. Is if you stand on an angle to someone, so like the chap in the jacket and the woman holding the teacup, if you stand like that, it is less threatening. If you're standing face to face with someone, it's more confrontational. It's also harder to build a connection. So if you're standing at an angle, it's easier to build a connection. It's easier to be less threatening. It's easier to get within their zones. There's multiple reasons that one works. So really good one to work into your interactions with people, even if it's just the two of them. It doesn't look weird if you stand on an angle, and it doesn't have to be a massive angle, just as long as you're not face to face. So really good one, that one. So the top 10 tips for body language. So these are ways to make yourself more accepted when you're approaching people, to minimize the risk of rejection, to make sure you engage with them better, to build connection quicker. So quick recap. Open chest and arms. Makes you appear confident, shows that you're safe when you approach them. Use a genuine smile. Make sure your eyes wrinkle in the corner. Gesture with your arms and hands. Make sure you're not just a robot standing there talking. Keep eye contact. You want them to know that you're engaging with them. Portray confidence and calm. Takes a little bit of practice, but you'd be surprised how easy it can be. Make sure you vary your gestures. Make sure when you're telling a story that your gestures match the story. Make sure they match your personality as well. Make sure to breathe deeply. When you're talking to people, the deeper you breathe, the calmer you will be, or the easier it will be to stay calm. Pause for emphasis. This means that your point can be made. They've got a chance to hear everything you're saying, because you want to make sure you don't dominate the conversation. And when you pause, showing that you're deep and meaningful. Okay, stand distance appropriate. You don't want to be on top of people. And stand on an angle, it's less threatening. So all of these tips take time. They take practice for you to use them comfortably and be aware. So make sure to practice them and get comfortable with them, because they'll all make a massive difference to your approaching and your engaging with people. So I hope you got a lot out of these. Make sure you practice. I'll go on about it all the time, but it's the only thing that got me better. It's the only thing that gets my clients better, is practicing everything as much as you can. So I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you have fun with it. Enjoy it. Practice it. Just really enjoy the results. And we'll catch you on the next top 10 tips. Have a good one.